Have you along with me as we're going down into the middle of the week, and just finished up my meeting here in the New Mexico area, traveling back home, and be home tonight for the Wednesday night service of Maranatha Baptist Church. You make sure you're in your place. I'm going to be there as I normally am. Don't miss church for anything, and you shouldn't, and neither should preachers. I think preachers need to be in their pulpit. The only thing I think that if you take a vacation, that's fine. But I think that preachers need to be in their pulpit. That's what you're called to do. And nothing should be more important than being in your pulpit as a pastor. That's what God's called you to do. And we ought to remember those kind of things, because that's exactly where we get in trouble in our ministries, is that we kind of make other things more important than pastoring our church. And I remember what my pastor used to say to me. He said, did something become more important to you than the pulpit? He was saying that to all the preachers. He says, when something else is bigger than the pulpit, you need to get out of the ministry. Boy, he's so right on that. I've watched preachers miss just the things they do, that they'll miss the pulpit. We got to be careful about that, because God's called us to pastor, and people need us there. And that stability of being there all the time is what is critical for preachers to be there. Well, today I want to talk to you from Joshua chapter 8, verse 14. The scripture says, "And it came to pass, when the king of Ai saw it, that they hasted and rose up early, and the men of the city went out against Israel to battle, he and all his people," here it is, "at a time appointed, before the plain, but he wist not that there were liars in ambush against him behind the city." Now, Joshua was trying to right the wrong that he had done in getting God's mind and fighting Ai that first time. You see, he had cared for the sin that that caused God to withhold his blessing. So he got rid of the sin, and now he's going to fight. Now he's going to go back and fight the city of Ai with God's help and doing it God's way. But he sent spies into the city who were to ambush the city as the scripture says, at a time appointed, after the armies of Ai had left that city to pursue Israel's main army. They were not to know that there were liars in wait inside of their city. Now, this time appointed was critical to the success of this plan. Let's just assume, would you, that these spies waited too long to follow Joshua's plan. Had they done this, Israel would have lost another battle. Had they thought the time appointed was not a big deal and that they could do it later, they would have lost the battle. And who knows if this battle was the key to them conquering the rest of the promised land. Now, punctuality is a character trait that reveals your mindset of the time appointed. I'm a big believer in being on time. In the church where I pastor at Maranatha Baptist Church, I've taught my people and practiced that we always start on time at the scheduled start. Doesn't matter how many people are present, you always start on time. Now, we must always start in that scheduled time, because that's the time that we've appointed. There will always be those who lack the character to be on time, and their excuses always reveal their mindset of authority and the planned activity. I've watched preachers change their time. Well, my people always come late. I want to change your time. They change their time. Those people that were always late, they come late again. They say, I don't know what to do. And I always tell them, you start on the time that you say you're going to start. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks about it. You be there on time. Now, I want to reveal to you the mindsets of those who arrive late. Let me give you their mindsets first. The first mindset is a self-centered mindset. The fact that they believe that they can arrive late shows how they think life revolves around them. Think about this. A person who is late reveals their ego that they are above everyone else who is expected to be on time. To think that you can arrive late when others are expected to arrive on time shows how much you truly think that the time of others, what you think of of another's time, that you're wasting because of your tardiness. You are not just being late when you miss a time appointed, but you are wasting the time of those who arrived early. Think about that. Being on time for everything is a start in overcoming the world revolves around me mentality. You got to start things on time. The second mindset is what is happening before you arrive is unimportant. So because I'm arriving late, that's not important. It's not important to be in the song service. It's not important to be at this meeting because they're going to cover things. And that's a wrong mindset. If it is not critical, then why do we do it? Someone planned that event to start at a certain time. And everything they do from the start to the finish is critical to accomplishing what the event is supposed to accomplish. Now, you are missing out on part of what the event can do for you when you arrive late. So if everybody, get this now, you're gonna, okay, there's times I say something in a service and then somebody comes in afterwards. Then they'll come to me and I'll say, well, if you'd arrived on time, you'd have got this. I've had a couple of times in staff meetings where someone arrived late and they missed something very critical to what I was going to say to everybody at one time. So you know what I have to do? I have to go back and start all over. And then those who are already there and already heard it, I'm wasting their time now just so that one who was late can hear it. You've got to understand everything is important. If it's not important, let's stop it. So if I'm starting it, if I have a time, that means for you to be there, everything we do is critical. The third mindset is that you disagree with the authority that planned the time appointed. Now, some authority has to set some time to start. And arriving late shows that you disagree with the authority who planned that event. Showing up late is more than a lack of character, my friend. It is a rebellious heart that says, I don't care what the authority says. I'm going to do my own thing, and I will do it no matter what they do. Now, listen to me. Being on time is critical in everything we do. Anybody can be on time if they choose to be on time. God is a God of punctuality. And if you are to be like God, you will be on time like he is. Okay, let's put it this way. Let's say when you called on Christ to save you, he says, you know what? I'll save you. I'll save you according to your character of being on time. Let me ask you a question. Would God have saved you immediately, or would God have had to wait? Now, you'd hope that God would save you immediately. You know why? Because you want to make sure that once you get saved immediately. Now, we can't be passive about this thing of punctuality. We've got to make it a priority. Everything we do in activity will take higher priority if we give it effort. It's just a simple thing of planning. It's a simple thing of making it everything important. A simple thing of me saying, I'm not the only one inside this world. Others are coming on time. I need to be there. And let me say this. It is not your nationality. It is not your part of the country that you live in. It is a character problem. So I'm tired of people saying, well, it's my nationality. You know, our nationality is always late. No, that's hogwash, because I know everybody from every nationality. I know people that are on time that have your nationality. So that's not the truth. That is just a character flaw in your character you need to correct. And it doesn't matter if everybody in your region is late. That shouldn't be you. Why? Because we set a time. Do you realize your word is at stake when you say, I want to be there on time? When something starts, your word is at stake. Now start on time. God is always on time, and he expects us to be on time. That at the time appointed, those men needed to be there in their place. And at the time appointed, they needed to respond. Now I'm telling you, why don't you become that person, a punctual person, always on time, that people don't have to worry about whether you're going to show up. If you have a problem in this area, you need to start working on it. It's a planning problem, my friend. What you've got to do is say, okay, let me plan my meetings apart so that way I'm done with this one so I can go right into this one when I'm supposed to be there. It's all about planning. It's all about importance, and it's all about your love for God, because God's a punctual God. We should be like him as well. Well, I hope this is a help to you today. Now, let's remember today as we go throughout the day, remember, be good to everyone. Everyone's having a tough time. Have a great day.